Hello and welcome to A Day in the Garden with me, Christina Linder. Today we're going to take some of the lovely material out of my garden and turn it into a table centerpiece for Christmas. So the idea is that if you're growing enough plants that are evergreen, then you'll have a lot of material come Christmas time to make some of these wonderful crafts and maybe even gifts for your friends and family. So I have here a wooden box. It's lined with plastic, and in it is floral foam, which has been soaked in water. And this is going to give the plant material the moisture it needs to stay fresh for a long time. In this table arrangement, I want to put some candles, and I have here some that I prepared with a little candle holder on the bottom. And with these, you just simply stick them right into the floral foam like that. In order to make the floral foam able to hang on to the candle better, we're going to put the candles in first before we start putting the stems of the plant material. So in order to make the candle fit better in the candle holder, this is very, very loose. You don't want that. So I'm taking a little piece of paper, but you can use tin foil, you can use anything you want. And I'm just going to make sure that that is a snug fit, like that. And then I'm going to measure it out so that it's kind of even, like that. You can, of course, do something quite abstract if you want and put all the candles in one end, but I'm going to put them evenly spaced like this. So, relatively evenly spaced. So I've chosen very tall candles because when you're sitting down to Christmas dinner, sometimes it takes a while. And if you have shorter candles, they sometimes burn to the bottom before the dinner is over. And you know, that's not so cozy. So I have here a whole bunch of different types of materials that I've collected out of my garden. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the bottom part so that there's no needles or branches really there. And this is going to help that hang on to the floral foam much better. And I'm also going to be mindful of fire safety, and I'm not going to bring any floral material and no branches or anything up into where the candles could light them on fire. Crucially important. I like a little bit of a contrast between the different materials that I'm going to use. So besides this nice dark green, I have some plant material here that has a little bit more of a lime green color. And you can decide how wide your arrangement's going to be by how long the corner or end pieces are going to be. So I want to keep this sort of compact, but you really could go quite wide if you wanted to do that. My table's not quite that wide. And I'm going to sort of cluster the same material together and not just mix it all throughout, because I feel that you get more impact that way. So this part's a little time consuming, but you don't really want to pre-strip them because you will maybe change your mind later on as you're getting into the design of this arrangement on how long you want them to be. So, like that. All right. I'm going to take a few more pieces here. And can add a little bit of height on the end like that. So on the sides, on the ends, you can go a little bit higher as long as you imagine where that flame is going to be and that it's not touching or getting too close to any of the greenery. And then we're going to use a little bit, maybe more of this down on this other end. And one of the benefits of working with fresh evergreens, of course, is the fragrance. It is absolutely lovely There, I need another longer piece here to finish it off on the end. Like there. So that's basically the width settled there. Now I want to use a little bit of this osmanthus. This looks like holly. It's quite holly-esque, but it's not holly, and it's a smaller shrub. Holly trees can get quite large, and I don't have room in my garden for anything that big. So osmanthus supplies lots of this lovely material for Christmas stuff without growing that large. There, working it in on the end. Here we have pyrus, which is also a different texture. Making sure that the stems don't come through the oasis, because if they do, they're going to dry out. Got a few more pieces of this. Do that kind of in the middle. So of course, if you want to, you can finish this off with some fresh cut flowers from the florist shop if you don't have anything suitable in your own garden. But that's entirely up to you. Ferns are also lovely to use, and this is an autumn fern, which is evergreen. And I think we're just going to maybe put that in here to let it hang over. And if I wanted to use a shorter piece of this, I can cut it here like that. And now I have the tip, but I also have the bottom part, which can go in here as well. And that fills that corner out quite nicely. I will finish off the back side later on, but here is another thing that blooms sometimes very late into the fall and into the early winter if it doesn't get terribly cold. And this is a sedum autumn joy. And even when it's dead and dried, it takes on a really beautiful tobacco color. So that can be nice to use in here as well. And this particular plant grows in a very sheltered spot, so it hasn't really felt the cold yet. And it's sort of nice. Christmas doesn't have to be red in color. You can use any color that you please. Another beautiful material that you can use is heuchera, or coral bells. And you can see this color here. This is also an evergreen small plant. And it's excellent for using in cut arrangements. There. And I always make sure I give all the stems a fresh cut with a little point so that it goes into the floral foam more easily. And like that. So 4 sometimes look a little odd, so using 3 or maybe 5 could be a better idea. There we go. And I also have a little bit of skimmia here that picks up that pinky sort of burgundy tone. We're going to just stick those in here a little bit. Maybe one right there. And cleaning off the rest of the bottoms here. A few more pieces. There. And then a few more on the back here. Sort of continue with this around here. So if you wanted to, you could also add some carnations to this from the flower shop. I have here a little piece of a hydrangea that remained on the bush. We will tuck him in there. And it's important that you rotate your work so that you can kind of see what it looks like from all the different sides. But what is kind of fun here is that there's some spillage. There's some plant materials that kind of come over the edge. And then if you wanted to, you could repeat some of those pieces. Maybe a piece of osmanthus can go on each of the napkins on the place settings, or any of the other greens, of course. I have here a beautiful little piece of sarcococca, which is in full bud now. It has a very small, insignificant flower, but the flowers are incredibly fragrant. So if they're blooming for you at Christmas time, by all means, put them in your winter arrangements so that your guests can wonder what you got that smells so good. And a few more pieces here. And I think we're just about finished. There, and then maybe some minor adjustments to make sure we don't start a fire. And of course, you always want to make sure that you never leave a lit candle unattended. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching and for spending this time with me. And please like, share, and comment below. Thank you so very much.